Welcome everyone to the game between Hans Niemann and Ding Liren. This is going to be an exciting clash because Ding Liren is of course one of the best players in the world but hasn't been playing in recent times after he lost the world championship match to Gukesh. He has been a little bit off the radar. Meanwhile, Hans Niemann is one of the most active players in the world of chess. So he would be backing himself to beat Ding Liren here. That's going to be very exciting. Now Hans Niemann has a very interesting team. It's called the Endgame AI. He has himself Dominguez, Alexei Sarana, Denis Lazavic, Zhu Jinner, a very powerful team. Ding opens with d4. Hans goes knight f6, c4, e6, knight to f3, and we have pawn to d5. Knight comes out to c3, and now we have the Ragozin, which has served Hans quite well with bishop b4, and immediately Ding goes bishop g5. At 6, he takes on f6, queen f6, and now e3 is one move. There's also queen a4 check. He goes e3, and Hans is thinking about what to play. He castles here. The rook comes to c1, pawn takes pawn, and now bishop takes is the main move. There's a very equal kind of a line in this setup here where you go c5, and it's also a fighting line. We've seen games by Sindarov against Anish in this line, the candidates, where he went knight e4, but knight d4 is like a draw offer in a way. You want to play knight c6, but then you would spoil your structure, so bishop d7 prepares knight c6. Queen comes to b3, and now bishop takes c3. He goes knight c6 first. Knight takes c6. You take first on c3 so that the bishop isn't hanging. If queen takes c3 or rook takes c3, you take on c6 later. Ding goes and takes on b7, bishop c6, queen c6, and now bishop takes b2 with an offer draw, and Ding Liren instantly takes it. A very quick draw. In fact, there was hardly anything played in this game. It's all well known, and the match between Dragon Chilling and Endgame AI ended in a 3-3 draw. This was round number 6, and now in round number 7, immediately after this, Hans Niemann faced off against Richard Rapport, another world-class player, one who's famed for his creativity and fighting spirit. Hans once again takes black pieces on board 1, and Kaz chess team for which Rapport is playing is a pretty strong team with Mamedyarov, Grishchuk, Wang Hao, and so on. And here we go, handshake, and Richard opens with e4. We have Hans thinking about what his first move should be. e5 he plays, and usually with Richard Rapport you always get fighting and interesting games of chess. Knight c6, knight to c3, we have knight f6, and he goes d4, the main line in the Scotch kind of knight d4, 4 knight Scotch, bishop b4, pins it, takes on c6, b takes c6, bishop d3, and Hans Niemann now goes castles. White also castles, and one of the main lines here is d5. There's also rook e8, but d5 is more common. ed, cd, black gets the center. White has maybe some chances to attack on the center with bishop g5 and so on. But Hans goes d5 and offers a draw, and Richard takes it instantly. Wow. So this is a very curious thing for me. Both Ding and Richard, fighters having white pieces, agreed to a draw with Hans without a fight. This match also ended in 3-3. So my question is, why did they do this? Like, did they think that Hans is really the strong point of the endgame AI team, and holding him to a draw would mean their team has better chances, or that they respect Hans a lot as a player? It's a big question to me, and maybe you can let me know in the comment section, because for me this is quite surprising.
Freedom begins with a choice. In 2008, we made ours. Freedom knows no borders. Step by step, we became part of the global financial system. In 2019, we went public on NASDAQ. In 2024, we built a digital ecosystem. Fintech, lifestyle, telecom, everything comes together in one unified digital space. Today, freedom is a system that shapes markets. $2 billion in annual revenue, $9.3 billion market capitalization, 11 million customers, 11,300 plus employees, 230 offices worldwide. Freedom begins with a choice, and every day we make it again. Freedom Holding Corp. One ecosystem, many possibilities.